Hi, my name is Ena Richards. I'm from South Africa and I run an organization called Work for a Living, which is a job readiness and entrepreneurial program. In terms of our partnership with DNA, I've identified three really profound aha moments. The first one would have to be the concept of the poverty mindset. You know, we've seen this over the years. We've seen our students be given opportunities, we've upskilled them, we've linked them with job opportunities, we've linked them with business opportunities. And despite the massive unemployment and poverty that we see in Africa, so many of them were still not taking those opportunities, and it was something that really confused us. And a couple of years ago, I read Discipling the Nations, and we started understanding this concept of poverty mindset. You know, I'm poor, I'll always be poor, and I cannot change. And we started embedding it into our program and in fact built a model based on that. And once our students started seeing and understanding the concept that they could possibly have a poverty mindset, it radically shifted the way they think and the way that they approached the working world, because they didn't want it. And we started seeing people really thriving in the workplace and thriving in the business world. The second aha moment would be the concept of resources not being limited. The fact that God puts creativity, imagination, innovation in us, and it's that is the resource. It's the resource that God puts in us that creates wealth, that allows people to prosper and allows people to thrive. You know, in Africa, land is a really big issue, with land being taken away, and we understand all of those issues. But when we started teaching our students that the magic is not in the land, it's not the land that is magic, it's not the land that is going to make them wealthy or allow people to prosper, but that the fact that the resource is in them and that God has given them the resource to make the land, to develop the land and make the land what it should be. When our students started grabbing that, you know, we had students who said, what am I doing in the city trying to find a minimum wage cashier job? I've got land back home, I'm going back to farm. And we've seen them go back and farm and plant macadamia trees and plant crops and absolutely thrive. And that's had a momentous impact in the direction that we've taken as Work for a Living. The third area that we've seen a really aha moment would be in the concept of loving your neighbor. Teaching our students to love their neighbor. You know, our students come to us and really they see it as a secular program, and we introduced the concept on day 2 of our 12-day program to love your neighbor, to care for your neighbor. And that sort of builds up to the place where we can actually present the gospel towards the end of the program. But they do the most amazing things, and as it progresses, they do better and better things, caring for their neighbors who've got HIV positive, cleaning their homes. On the last day, we actually tell them that what they've been doing for the last 2 weeks is delighting God, because loving your neighbor is so dear to God. And the fact that they've been loving their neighbor has been delighting God so much. And we just see the incredible emotion in our students when they realize that this God that they've heard about is not a harsh God, but that he's simply pleased and delighted with them for loving their neighbor. In terms of discipling our students, this is probably the one thing that has had the most impact in allowing us to have an open door with our students, to be able to speak to them about the things of the Lord and the power and the majesty of the Lord. So in closing, those 3 aspects have had a massive impact on what we do in terms of discipling our students, in terms of getting people's hearts tender to the ways of the Lord and who He is as a Father. And there have obviously been many aha moments, but those 3 stand out, and we are eternally grateful. Thank you.